many great trotting races in 1975. The Yonkers Futurity, Vernon's Gold Cup, Liberty Bell's Colonial, the venerable Kentucky Futurity. But the trotting contest that continued to capture the fancy and interest of horsemen and harness fans from New York City to New South Wales was still the hallowed Hambletonian Stake. Hambletonian, raced for the last 19 years at DuQuoin, Illinois, was 50 years old in 1975. And this is the story of the celebration that marked that birthday. Bill Hayes II, as usual, was the impresario, the young godfather of the famed stake. And he was asked how long the fair had been preparing for the anniversary.
For several years, you might say, but certainly in earnest, beginning with the end of last year's Hambletonian. We worked on several things, including obtaining a pari-mutuel betting license, which entailed work with the legislature, as you know, and, of course, changing the schedule to Saturday this year to enable national television coverage. And, of course, the biggest change is that the purse is now $232,000, making it the richest race for harness horses in the world.
With thousands of trotting faithful in the stands and millions more at home in front of their television sets, most eyes were fastened upon Bonefish, a strapping bay colt who was named for the scrappy game fish from waters off the coast of Florida. And why shouldn't Bonefish command that attention? Hadn't trainer-driver Stanley Dancer announced flatly that his colt was capable of breaking most of the records set by his sire, Dancer's great champion Neville Pride? But then, form has not always held up in the nation's most treasured trotting race. Remember Helicopter? Remember Egyptian Candor? Remember Christopher T? The preliminaries over, and with cameras of the CBS television network in place, the field for the first heat was introduced.
Number 1, Song Flory, Delvin Miller driving. 1A, the great filly champion Meadow Bright with Sonny Graham Jr. in the bike. 2, Glasgow, all-time driving champion Bill Houghton in the sulky. 2A, Spearmint, driven by Dick Williams. Number 3, Surefire Hanover and Ronnie Dancer. 3A, Bonefish, the favorite, with Stanley Dancer in the sulky. 4, Yankee Bambino, driven by Walter Ross. Number 5, Noble Rogue and driver Jimmy Arthur. 6 is Noble Twist, Joe O'Brien will drive. Number 7, Jubilee Triton, the driver is Jim Russell. 8 is Fashion Blaze, Jimmy Laurent in the bike. Number 9, Ways to Win, Glenn Garnsey is the driver. And number 10, second filly in the field, Exclusive Way with driver John Simpson Jr.
And the 50th Hambletonian was underway.
The field in behind the starting gate for the 50th Hambletonian Trotting Classic. Here they come. They're off and trotting Noble Rogue. First away down along the inside. Glasgow out fast, and from the outside comes Bonefish. Into that first turn, Noble Rogue with the lead. Bonefish powering up on the outside. Fashion Blaze goes off stride, and Glasgow is third down along the rail. A battle for the lead. Bonefish up on the outside. Noble Rogue is second. Tucked in third along the rail is Glasgow. Yankee Bambino fourth on the outside as they go to the quarter-mile mark. Bonefish and Noble Rogue battling for that lead past a quarter in a blistering 28 2/5 seconds. It is Bonefish with the lead. Noble Rogue second. Glasgow trotting third. Yankee Bambino fourth on the outside, and Jubilee Triton fifth at the rail. Surefire Hanover sixth on the outside. Song Flory seventh. Ways to Win is eighth. Exclusive Way trotting ninth. Spearmint is 10th. Noble Twist 11th. Fashion Blaze off stride in 12th, and Meadow Bright is 13th. Bonefish the leader. Noble Rogue second, and on the outside outside, thundering up comes Yankee Bambino, trotting very fast now as they move to the half, past the half in 58-1. Following Yankee Bambino is Surefire Hanover on the outside, and Glasgow down along the rail. It is Bonefish with that lead. Up on the outside, Yankee Bambino challenging. Noble Rogue third down along the rail. Surefire Hanover up on the outside. Bonefish the leader at the far turn. Yankee Bambino coming on. Noble Rogue still third down along the rail. Up on the outside, Surefire Hanover, and Glasgow is fifth. As they move to the 3/4 mile mark, are now head and head. Bonefish on the inside. Yankee Bambino on the outside. 3/4 and 1:28 and 2/5. And Yankee Bambino moves out to take the lead in the first heat of the Hambletonian as they turn into the stretch. It's Yankee Bambino with Surefire Hanover coming on. Yankee Bambino with a 2-length lead. Surefire Hanover is driving up. Noble Rogue trotting powerfully and gaining ground. And Song Flory is closing ground. Down through the lane, it's Yankee Bambino, Surefire Hanover, and Noble Rogue in the mile in 1:59 in the first heat of the Hambletonian.
Yankee Bambino, bred by former baseball great Charlie Keller and named for the immortal Babe Ruth, wins the first heat in 1:59 flat. And driver Walter Ross is so stunned that he's speechless for minutes after the contest. Surefire Hanover was second, with Noble Rogue third. And what of Bonefish, the colt that was supposed to smash Neville Pride's records? The Neville Pride's son tired in the stretch, reported driver Dancer, and finished ninth. But his driver has no intention of scratching him from the next heat. None whatsoever. We'll be back for another shot at them, and I think we'll win it before the afternoon is over, a surprisingly confident Dancer says. And Dancer, who co-owned Bonefish with his wife Rachel and with A.M. Cuddy, served notice in the stretch of the second heat that he was not guilty of idle boasting.
Here they come in the second heat of the Hambletonian. They're off and trotting. Noble Rogue is out fast. Surefire Hanover, Glasgow on the outside, and Yankee Bambino down along the rail. Noble Rogue going for that lead once again. Surefire Hanover right there second. Glasgow trotting fast in third on the outside. Yankee Bambino is fourth, and Noble Tryst fifth. It's Noble Rogue with the lead. On the outside, Glasgow. Down along the inside, Surefire Hanover, and Yankee Bambino is fourth. Glasgow races up to challenge Noble Rogue for the lead. Surefire Hanover third. Ronnie Dancer looks back for Bonefish as they move around the turn, the 1/4 in 28 and 3. Bonefish not there, and Ronnie moves out with Surefire Hanover to challenge Glasgow for the lead. It is Glasgow on the inside, Surefire Hanover powering up on the outside. Surefire Hanover goes to the front, Glasgow second. Noble Tryst moves up boldly to be third, and Noble Rogue fourth. Yankee Bambino fifth on the inside, Spearman sixth, Meadow Bright seventh, Exclusive Way trotting eighth, and Bonefish is ninth. Song Flory 10th, Ways to Win 11th, Jubilee Triton is 12th, and Fashion Blaze off stride in 13th, and they get to the half in 57 and 2/5 seconds with Noble Tryst in command. It's Noble Tryst, and despite that torrid half, here comes Yankee Bambino up on the outside. It's Noble Tryst with the lead. Surefire Hanover moves out once again, used again as he moves to the front, and on the outside, Yankee Bambino coming at him. It's Noble Tryst down along the inside. Surefire Hanover between horses, Yankee Bambino on the outside. Those three trotting fast around that far turn. Down along the inside, Noble Tryst. Surefire Hanover right there. Yankee Bambino on the outside. 3/4 in 1:28, and Yankee Bambino is coming on. Bonefish now moving up from far back as they turn into the stretch. On the outside, Yankee Bambino, Surefire Hanover right with him. Down along the inside, Noble Tryst. Noble Rogue is coming on, and Bonefish on the extreme outside. Noble Rogue takes the lead. Bonefish on the extreme outside is coming on, and Meadow Bright. It's Noble Rogue, Bonefish, and Meadow Bright as they drive to the wire in the second heat. The mile is 1:59 and 2/5.
The winner, however, was Noble Rogue, owned by K.D. Owen, a youngster who had been one of the brightest lights among the 2-year-olds of 1974 and was only now beginning to race back to that form. 2 heats, 2 winners, and it began to look like a long afternoon of racing at the huge and handsome DuQuoin Fairground. There most assuredly would be a third contest, since a trotter must win a pair of heats to carry off the giant Hambletonian trophy. But would there be a third winner? Indeed, there would.
Second, and racing in third is Meadow Bright. And Dancer moves out once again with Bonefish. As they get to the half in 101, it's Stanley Dancer taking Bonefish to the lead. Spearmint is second. Meadow Bright is out of third and driving now as they go to the far turn. And up on the outside, coming on once again, trotting powerfully, Yankee Bambino. 3-4 wide, going down the back stretch as they head to the far turn. Bonefish is the leader. Meadow Bright battling Spearmint, and on the outside, Yankee Bambino coming on. Bonefish has drawn off the lead by 5 open lengths, going to the 3/4 mile mark. It is Bonefish past the 3/4 in 1:31 with a 4-length lead. Yankee Bambino is coming on. Bonefish is the leader. Yankee Bambino and Meadow Bright still holding on as they drive into the stretch. It is Bonefish showing the way. Yankee Bambino. Here comes Song Flory, trotting powerfully on the outside through the lane. Bonefish is the leader. Yankee Bambino and Song Flory. It is Bonefish, Song Flory, Yankee Bambino in Fashion Blaze in the mile in 2 minutes and 3/5 of a second in the third heat of the Hambletonian.
Bonefish, with a 2-minute and 3 triumph under his harness, heads for victory lane. And the price of trotting just went up. CBS Television, choosing the golden anniversary of the stake to telecast the Hambletonian for the first time, had backed a winner. 3 heats, 3 different winners. And now, a race-off between the trio of victors, with a major portion of harness racing's richest purse ever hanging in the balance. Headed to post were Bonefish, the comeback kid, handled by Stanley Dancer, upset-minded Yankee Bambino and reinsman Walter Ross, and the rapidly improving Noble Rogue with driver Jim Arthur. And it was showdown time. A Hambletonian champion was about to be crowned. To make the event still more dramatic, a world record for 4 heats divided was also on the line, as the 3 trotters reached the half in 1, 2, and 4.
And go to the far turn, and no moves as yet, as Noble Rogue leads the way, and Bonefish trots second behind him. Now a length and a half back. Yankee Bambino another 2 lengths back, and Bonefish is out and driving. Dancer moves out with Bonefish to challenge with more than a 1/4 of a mile to go. Noble Rogue down along the inside by a neck. Bonefish second on the outside. Yankee Bambino coming on now a length and a half further back. They're moving to the 3/4. Noble Rogue leads the way along the inside by a neck. Bonefish is second, and Yankee Bambino moves to the outside now, and the 3 horses tied in a struggle. 1:34 for 3/4 of a mile. Bonefish, Yankee Bambino on the outside. Noble Rogue down along the inside. Dancer goes to the whip with Bonefish. On the outside, Yankee Bambino is coming on. Yankee Bambino and Bonefish and Noble Rogue down along the inside. It's Yankee Bambino and Bonefish in a driving finish. Bonefish on the inside. Yankee Bambino on the outside driving to the wire. And as they come to the wire, it looks like Bonefish and Yankee Bambino. It looks like a heavy. It's a photo here in the 4th heat. The mile in the 4th heat, 2:02 and 4. New world record for 4 heats. It's a close finish between Bonefish and Yankee Bambino.
It was over. The 50th and richest Hambletonian of them all was history. Bonefish, the colt that was supposed to win it, had come through, had scored a nose triumph over Yankee Bambino in the final dash, had given Stanley Dancer his 3rd Hambletonian victory. And Bonefish had trotted his mile in 2, 2, and 4 to complete the 4 swiftest trotting heats in history. Victory Lane was jammed, as always. Driver Dancer was there. So were co-owners Rachel Dancer and Mac Cuddy. So was Illinois Governor Dan Walker. And so was Fred Van Lennep, the master of Castleton Farm, who had recently paid a flat $1 million for Bonefish. In the eye of the storm of festivities, of course, was the Hambletonian winner himself, Bonefish, the colt who had rallied from a 9th place finish in the 1st heat to capture the most famous trotting race of them all. Ironically, sadly, the Hambletonian was the colt's last victory, the stake's final dash, his last race. A week later, approaching the starting gate in the matron stake at Wolverine Raceway, Bonefish began to bleed from the nose. He was scratched, and post-race tests indicated that he had ruptured a blood vessel in his throat. He would race no more. But the winner of the Hambletonian's golden anniversary, one of the greatest editions of them all, would continue his contributions to the sport as the sire of future trotting champions.